Hi guys, so welcome to another Q&A video. As this channel is growing and we're getting more subscribers, incidentally I'd just like to say thanks for subscribing. We've got nearly 1,000 subs, which is absolutely fantastic. So thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching these videos. The more comments and the more subs and the more views, it gives me more encouragement to make more videos for you guys. And that's why we've decided to do a weekly Q&A series. So every week we're going to bring in you questions and answers from you, the viewer. So anything you want to know, if you comment on any of our videos, we monitor all the comments and then we'll try and answer as many as we can each week. What's the first question?
Can anybody get into property?
Yeah, anybody can get into property. There's obviously a few things you're going to need. So you're going to need money for your deposits. You will need to be mortgageable. So that means you need to have a full-time job or 3 years worth of self-employed accounts. But yeah, essentially anybody can get into property, even if you're a foreign national and you're not a UK resident. So foreign people can buy properties in the UK. So yeah, anybody can get into property. I think actually the only person who can't is you need to be over 18. So if you're under 18, you can't buy a property. But over 18, then yeah, anybody can buy a property.
Still be working towards it as well if you're not over.
Yeah,
18.
even if you're not exactly, even if you're below 18, then you can still be working towards it. You can be saving up or making plans. So yeah, I would say don't let that put you off if you're under the age of 18.
What is the downside of property?
Downside, I don't really think there is any downside, because I think that as long as you do your research and as long as you have a strategy, then there is no downside really. There is plenty of upside. So property values typically go up by about 5% every year, as opposed to a bank where you're getting like 0.5% if you're lucky. At the moment I think it's 0.1 or 0.2%. So values go up. You've also got an asset that you can control, so you can add value to it. You can, if you buy some shares, you can't make those shares go up. Whereas if you buy a property, you can put a new kitchen in and make it worth more. So you've got control over the value. So no, I wouldn't say there's any negatives to buying property whatsoever, and I would encourage people to buy as many properties as you can. So go for it.
If there's no downsides to property, then why do you think not everyone's doing it?
Okay, so there's no downside to property, but not everybody's doing it is because they don't understand how to buy property. They think that you need to have lots of funds available to buy property. You don't. You can get into property with virtually nothing, maybe just a couple of thousand for legal fees and that type of stuff. So people think there's a bigger barrier to entry than there is. So there's this kind of view out there that you can't buy property, or you can only buy one, and that's your own main house, and then people don't. But my advice to anybody, buy as many as you can and buy them as young as you can. Yeah. It's a great pension.
Can you refinance the property that you're currently living in to start investing?
Yeah, you can refinance your main property. So if you've got, like, say a property for 200,000 and you've got £70,000 equity, so your mortgage is only 130, you can remortgage a portion of that 70,000, for example, and then take that and use that as a deposit for another property. So absolutely, you can remortgage your main house. If you are not eligible for the mortgage because of the affordability factor on a main house, then you could always take out a secured loan, which is effectively, you go to a different loan company and then they will give you a secured loan against that, against the equity in your house.
So would you say using the equity in your house is a good way for young people to get into property? Because if they've just managed to buy their first home and it's been a couple of years and they can't get the budget to buy another one, if they refinance it, it's an easier way into property.
May not be, because if they've only just bought the house, they probably haven't got much growth after 2 years.
Yeah.
So there probably won't be any more equity growth.
Yeah.
But if they've added value, if they bought below value, added value as I teach, then after a couple of years, by all means, remortgage it, take some money out and then buy a second property.
Okay, what sort of boiler would you use in a HMO?
What sort of boiler in a HMO? So we put in 300 litre an unvented cylinder, and so basically we've got what's called a system boiler, which then heats up a 300 litre hot water tank.
Okay.
and then the water comes from the tank.
Another question is, what's the best way to lay out a property?
What's the best way to lay out a property? Is it depends what you're going to do with the property. So if it's going to be a HMO, then you want to get the maximum amount of rooms out of that property as you can. When I say rooms, I mean bedrooms that you can rent out. Okay, so that would mean sacrificing living areas, dining areas, and just making as many as you can out of it. So even if we've got a large bedroom, sometimes we'll split it into two and make it two smaller bedrooms, because we'd get more rent from two smaller rents than one large rent. Yeah. So if it's a HMO, try and maximise every single room. Try and shift kitchens into areas that you can't have as a room. So if you've got if you've got a lot of old properties, if you've got the back of the house where you've got like the old the old scullery and the old coal sheds and things like that, it's probably not going to be big enough for a bedroom, but it would be for a kitchen. So what we've done is we've made the kitchen into a bedroom and then shifted the kitchen into the back, and then just put a corridor down, and then that way we're adding extra rooms that you ordinarily wouldn't add.
Yeah.
If it's a regular buy-to-let, there's not a lot you can do with it really, because if it's a 3-bed house, well, you're buying it as a 3-bed and renting it as a 3-bed. You wouldn't really want to be converting a dining room into another bedroom and renting it as a 4-bed.
Yeah.
So really, you can only maximise the floor space in a HMO.
Okay.
As far as rentability goes.
Yeah. Okay, and Rebecca wants to know, would you rather buy, refurb and sell, or buy and rent?
So should you buy, refurb and sell, or buy and rent? It depends on your strategy. If you want lump sums of cash, then you're going to have to buy, refurb and sell. Because what we do is every time we buy, refurb and sell, we make £20,000 to £30,000 minimum. So by buying, refurbing and selling, you're making lump sums of cash that builds your pot of money up in order to do more property related ventures, if you like, yeah, whether that be holding or developments or HMOs, whatever it may be. If you buy and rent, then you're going to need to have 25% deposits to buy. You're going to need to maybe have £5,000 to get the property in what we call ready to rent. You will not be able to get your money back until the property is increased in value. So it means that your 25% money is stuck in the property.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're doing buy, refurb and sell, then you've got lump sums of money coming off that you can then do a bit of both. You could then decide, actually, I'll do 3 refurbs and sell them on, and I've got 3 lots of 25 grand lump sum.
Yeah.
I'll then use one of that 25 grand and go and buy a property that I'm going to keep. And then the other 50, go and refurb again.
Okay.
So again, it really depends on your strategy. Some people are fortunate that they've got lots of money, or that they've been left money, and therefore they can just go and buy 5, 10, 15 properties in one go. And that's great, but most people aren't in that situation.
Yeah.
So most people have to start off with nothing, build up the pot of money, buy another one, build the pot up, and then you can start branching out.
Okay, so for a first time buyer, you'd recommend like buy and sell.
Yeah.
To
So
get the
first
money
time
out,
buy,
build your pot up.
yeah, buy and sell and build the pot up. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I hope that was useful. We're inundated with questions at the moment, which is a good thing to have. Okay, so we'll be picking out questions each week, and I'm also going to be doing some videos specifically related to some of the longer questions. And what I mean by that is the questions that are going to take a long time to answer. So there's a few questions that you've sent in where it will be a complete video in itself. So we'll get around to recording those. I don't know if we're going to do it now with Christmas approaching, but we'll certainly get around to recording them and probably get them released in the new year. So guys, really appreciate you watching this channel. We've only been putting videos up for 6 weeks, and I've had such great feedback. I think that you've all found it immensely valuable. It gives me great pleasure to just kind of impart my knowledge and just brain dump everything that I have. So just keep asking questions, and I'll keep feeding you, and you can hopefully grow and be successful in property. So please like, please share, and more importantly, please subscribe, because the subscribers is what keeps us going, because we know that we have our regular subscribers out there that want to watch these videos. So guys, that's all from me. Have a great Christmas, and I'll speak to you on the next video.